welcome back to my fashion cupboard baby. This is going to be my 35 to 36 week pregnancy update, and this has been a long time coming. I've been a little late in filming this video just because since I've been off on maternity leave I have been completely focused on preparing for the baby and getting the nursery ready, which has still got a little bit way to go, so look out for a nursery tour in the next couple of weeks when we get things finished. If you hear my puppy barking in the background, I do apologise, she's a bit of an attention seeker today. So let's get started. I've got my notes in front of me. So during week 35 then, when I was 35 plus 1, I had a midwife and consultant appointment up at the hospital again. So if you watched my 33 to 34 week update, you'll already know that I had a growth scan, and the baby was measuring about a week ahead, and so they'd scheduled me in for a consultant appointment to kind of talk me through what that meant, etc. So they took the fundal height, basically my belly measurement again on that occasion, and she was still measuring just a few days ahead. So the consultant spoke to me about it and said that basically the reason they're saying that she's measuring ahead is based on my pre-pregnancy weight of about 9.5 stone and my height of 5'5". It looked like I was going to have a bigger baby for my frame, and that can obviously cause some complications in getting the baby out, and that baby might just be a little bit big to get through my pelvis. So he talked me through all the, emergency cesarean scenarios and things like that, just so that I was aware of what could happen. But we did agree at the end of the appointment that we're going to wait and see, and I really want to do this naturally if I can. So he was completely supportive of that, which was great. Then I went back for my second growth scan when I was 35 plus 6, so only 5 days later. And actually I was quite nervous about this one. I was trying to watch on the screen and work out if she was measuring big or small, but actually at the end of it the midwife came to speak to me because it looked like she had grown just a fairly small amount since the previous growth scan, which meant actually that she was measuring back to an average baby for my frame, which for me I just thought, great, so she just had a growth spurt and she's back to normal. However, the midwife was a bit concerned because she said although there has been some growth, there's not been an awful lot of growth, so we need to speak to the consultant again. So again, that got me a bit worried. But luckily the consultant wasn't concerned. They were quite happy that there had been growth in the head and in the stomach and in the hips. So because there had been growth, she's inclined to agree with me that it was a growth spurt and that the baby's back on track. We did speak about what we should do anyway, so because she's measuring average, but she's still on the higher end of average for my frame, so therefore we're booked in for a membrane sweep on the day after my due date. So if nothing happens before then, I will get a sweep on that day, and they'll hope that I'll go into labour naturally within 48 hours, and if I don't, then we'll think about getting taken in for full induction, which I'd like to avoid if I can, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also in that week, at the end of the week 35, I had my first antenatal appointment. I say me and my husband went to our first antenatal appointment, and it was 3 hours long. I kid you not, 3 hours. We went through all the different stages of labour, the signs, when you should go to the hospital, what the different stages involve, from early labour to delivering the placenta, and we also went through what we should be taking in our hospital bag and that sort of thing. So 3 hours on a beautiful summer's day, one of the nicest days we'd had so far, was a bit depressing, but it was actually quite useful, so that was good. So week 36 then, I had another consultant appointment at 36 plus 1 up at my local hospital, and this time they did all the sort of usual checks, your blood pressure, your fundal height, your urine sample, etc. And this time there were ketones in my urine. That's the first time there'd ever been anything unusual in my urine, and that basically means that I was probably dehydrated or hadn't eaten enough. It just so happened that that appointment was at 3 PM and I hadn't had lunch yet, so I'm blaming it on that. And there hasn't been any issues since, so I think it's okay. But everything else was normal. The fundal height again was measuring a few days ahead, but the consultant did explain that basically by that stage of your pregnancy, when you're more or less full term, the fundal height doesn't really mean anything, and it's not an accurate prediction anymore. Neither essentially is the actual growth scan, which she said is more or less accurate within a kilo of either side, so that's quite a lot actually. So whilst at my second growth scan the baby was measuring about 6.25 pounds, they say give or take a kilo, so that's quite a lot of a difference. However, having said that, everything seemed to be fine at that appointment, so that was great, which was really good because I had a wedding that weekend, my cousin's wedding, down in London. So if you don't already know, I live in Glasgow, just outside of Glasgow in Scotland, and we drove down to London for the wedding. It took us around 7.5 hours. My dear husband drove, and we managed to only stop twice, which I thought was quite good given how pregnant I was, pretty heavily pregnant, almost, well, basically full term. But no, we managed to stop twice. It was absolutely fine. I was fine on the journey. We had visions of my water breaking in the car, but it didn't happen. No delivery on the M8 or anything like that, so that was good. During the weekend when we were down in London, I did notice a lot of swelling, so the weather was definitely better down there than it had been in Scotland, so it was definitely hotter. I think that had a lot to do with it, but I could feel swelling in my feet, my ankles and in my hands. And because I had swelling, I was getting a little bit concerned about things like preeclampsia, but not maybe so much at that stage. I was also feeling a lot of pelvic pain and pressure in that area in general, so I was starting to wonder whether baby's head was starting to engage. But I could definitely feel something going on down there, and it was also really affecting my ability to sleep, which was very annoying. Very, very sore to like turn over in the night. General uncomfortableness in that area down there. Just more or less getting sort of 4 or 5 hours sleep at that stage, which is quite annoying. However, the wedding went really well. My cousin's actually pregnant with twins, and my other cousin, her elder sister, who was the bridesmaid, is pregnant as well, so it was a bit of a comparison of the bumps, and we got a few photos taken together, which was really nice. My heel broke at the wedding, which was incredibly dangerous for a full-term pregnant woman. Heels from Zara will be going back, absolutely. I was quite disappointed in that, but apart from that, everything went well. So I think that is the main things for weeks 35 and 36, to be honest. In terms of general symptoms, I was continuing to have trouble sleeping, like I said, drinking all the time and therefore going to the toilet a lot at night. Definitely craving fruits and vegetables. I was really craving salads. I think the change of the weather had helped that, so that was good. And yeah, I was coming to the end of my time at work. I had a couple more weeks to go, so I was really busy at work, so I think that sitting at a desk all day wasn't doing any good for my swelling in my ankles and my feet as well. And also, you may have noticed that I'm not wearing my wedding rings. I'm actually wearing them around my neck. That didn't quite happen until sort of week 38, so I'll update you that on the next video, but certainly, yeah, I'm starting to get a bit swollen and uncomfortable now, so we'll see where the weeks takes us now going forward. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check back for my 37 to 38 week and then 39 to 40 week, and hopefully there won't be any more after that. I'm kind of hoping that she's going to come less on time, we'll see. But don't forget to tune in for my next update, and thanks for watching. Bye!